Hello everyone, and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. And a very, very difficult one. Because today I'm going to be talking about the 50 best live albums ever of all time. And this is such an incredibly difficult list. Until the moment I just pressed the record button, I had some last changes. I left two just brilliant live albums out. For example, this one, Muddy Waters live at Newport, an incredible blues album. I love it, but I realized last year we saw the release of a beautiful live album from something I've been listening to for about 20 years when it was a bootleg. People all over the world have been listening to it as a bootleg, and now it's released as a live album in perfect quality. So, gotta put it in the list. Another one I just left out here, Frempton Comes Alive. Great, great, great album. Love it, but there are just so many incredible good live albums that it's just a very tough list. Let's keep it to that. Also, I have only put one album from each artist in the list, and I try to focus on general quality and outstandingness of that live album. I'm wearing a David Bowie t-shirt. I'm a big David Bowie fan. There's not a David Bowie album in this list. Why? Simply, I love Bowie's live albums, but he did not make a live album that is so outstanding, so impressive, and generally impressive that it just goes beyond any of these. So I love, love, love Bowie live. Now, without much further ado, I'm gonna start off and kick off the list with a legendary live hit album, as a matter of fact. On number 50, Cheap Trick at Budokan. Great, incredible live album, and this was the one that made Cheap Trick breakthrough, actually. They had some incredible good studio albums, but when you hear the outrageous sound of this audience, it just is one of those amazing moments. It feels like Cheap Trick, when they recorded this show, was on top of the world. It was first released, as a matter of fact, only in Japan, I believe, but it was so popular there that the bootlegs were shipped over to Europe and the United States, so they decided to release this one as a standalone album. One beautiful, masterful live album with a beautiful rendition of I Want You to Want Me, their big hit single. On 50, Cheap Trick at Budokan. 48, perhaps a bit of a controversial choice. I think it's a masterpiece. Metallica with Michael Kamen and the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra, S&M. Now this is a moment where metal blends in with classical music, or at least a possibility of classical music, and you hear where the lines of the guitar and just intertwine with the orchestra. It shows that it can be such a beautiful, complete image of music, and how close Metallica and metal can be to classical music. It's really impressive. Also, very often when a band or an artist joins an orchestra, it can be somewhat, how do I say this, kitschy, cliche. Pretty often you just get this greatest hits ensemble, and the orchestra is just sort of background to introduce the artist to an older generation of fans, or an already grown older generation of fans, and there's not really something to add. First thing that pops in my mind are Eric Clapton's live shows with an orchestra in the Royal Albert Hall. I saw that concert film about a year ago. It's just cliche, kitsch, not sincere. This one is the opposite. When they are unlikely friends to each other, but when you listen closely, classic and metal can be the best of friends, and then they can spark. This album opens with something from Morricone, actually. I don't have a track list here, and then it just smashes in. The rendition of Nothing Else Matters here is incredible. And Master of Puppets with an orchestra, that is my run song. When I go for a run, I go for a daily run with my dog, and then I always put on Masters of Puppets with this orchestra. It is just mind-blowingly good. On 49, Metallica, S&M. Then, on 48, Thin Lizzy, Live and Dangerous. This is already a well-known classic live album. Also, when you take a look at the book 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die, there's only one Thin Lizzy album in there, and that is this album. Even just for this cover, the look of ecstasy on the face of Phil Lynott. Opening with Jailbreak, awesome song. So many great songs. Still in Love with You, The Boys Are Back in Town. This is just a magical show. On 48, Thin Lizzy, Live and Dangerous. 47, Bill Withers. I believe this is the first time that I'm talking about Bill Withers in my videos. Bill Withers is a master. And I believe he died during Corona. I'm not sure if he also died from Corona. I believe he was to play here in Amsterdam. This is a beautiful edition on Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. There's an intimacy to this show. You can hear there's a certain calm concentration, and it's one of those live shows. It's quite different in the way it is approached than the other ones I just showed you, or some of the energetic explosions I'm gonna be showing you. Bill Withers is in control. He's cool, and he's playing incredible songs. Sunshine, for example. The entirety of this album, the atmosphere, the arena, of course, Carnegie Hall, but it's a movie term, like the arena, the thing where it sets place. Incredible album. Bill Withers at Carnegie Hall at 46. 45. I think I should censor it because YouTube. Yeah, here we have it. The Velvet Under. This feels very odd. You know what? I'm gonna twist this record around so I'm not gonna get in trouble with YouTube. No, you didn't just see legs. How am I gonna fix this? It's a nice gatefold. This is a beautiful picture of the Velvet Underground. Now, I've been a Velvet Underground fan for quite some time, and now I'm being pushed away by the gatefold. I'm just gonna show it like this. I listened to this album first on digital sources, and I was not that impressed, but I really wanted a good Velvet Underground version. Then I found this first German pressing, and the quality of this German vinyl is just so much better. This album is a compilation of 2 shows, which I did, I believe, in 68 or 69. No, I spoil it. Let's not tell YouTube. The compilation of these 2, it are good recordings. They are, the Velvet Underground never had the best sounding albums. But this is a nice raw edge, and what you really get to hear is how this band performed live in small places with 80 or 100 people there. That's the impressive element there. The Velvet Underground right now are considered one of the major influences in the world of music. Lou Reed being incredibly big. John Cale still a very impressive artist. And this band is the root of that. People will never undervalue the Velvet Underground right now. But back in the day, their live show was recorded in front of 80 or 100 people. And those were the better dates. Now, how much money would you pay to be there? Because I'm gonna check the set list like this. opening of Waiting for My Man. Then Lisa says, What Goes On, Sweet Jane. Banger after banger after banger. Then side 2, We're Gonna Have a Real Good Time Together. Femme Fatale, New Age, Rock and Roll. I'm beginning to see the light. I mean, all those songs live, late 60s. That's just incredible. Ocean, Pale Blue Eyes, such a gorgeous song. Heroin, a 9-minute rendition of Heroin. Side 2, Some Kind of Love, Over You. Sweet Bonnie Brown, White Light, White Heat. And I'll Be Your Mirror. Man, what is not to love from this album? Maybe a bit raw sounding, but if you get a good final of it, you're gonna have a real good time. Seriously. On 40... Yes. On 45... Am I right? 50, 49, 48, 47, 46. That was 46. Now we're going to go to 45. This is John Coltrane live at the Village Vanguard. A legendary performance by John Coltrane. So I really had to put in John Coltrane in the list, but this is such an incredible live album. The sound of it is smashing. I haven't heard a Rudy Van Gelder pressing. I almost bought a Rudy Van Gelder pressing a while ago, but I found this in France, in Paris, for 24 euros. The Acoustic Sounds series reissue, and those are smashing audiophile reissues. What else is there to say about Coltrane than just go out, buy this or an old Rudy Van Gelder pressing, and you'll be amazed. At 45, Coltrane live at the Village Vanguard. Now I'm going to go for the number 44. And this is the one I just switched with Muddy Waters. At least I put it here and Muddy Waters was on top. So, yeah. This is just 1 year old. But the recording is from 1974. So a 50-year-old recording. Pink Floyd live at the Empire Pool in London. Live at Wembley, as a matter of fact. Wembley, the Empire Pool, London. Playing Dark Side of the Moon live. Now this is a legendary recording, finally available, but this has been recorded by the BBC, so the sound quality is incredible. It's one hell of an experience, because the original Pink Floyd, right after the release of Dark Side of the Moon, doing that album live in full, it's just so awesome. It's such a great show. As a matter of fact, when I'm finished doing this video, I'll put it on again. I've listened to the bootleg, BBC bootleg, so many times, and it's such a beautiful, coherent show. There's such an excitement, there's such an energy, and you can hear in the audience, they are very often dead silent because they are experiencing something, a moment in time, the release of one of the biggest albums. At the moment of the release, in the year of the release, they are listening to Pink Floyd doing that one live. I mean, I saw Roger Waters do that show live, and that was also very, very impressive. And you notice a kind of tension in the audience. It's even more intense when the entirety of the Pink Floyd does it. It's a ride. It really feels like a ride. The end of this show, it feels like it reminds me of when I was 12 or 13 years old, and you left Disneyland. You know, like, I've really experienced something. That kind of emotion. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, live. On 44, 43. This is for all the dad hats here. I could not leave the Grateful Dead out of this list. And what I have here is, I believe it's the first German pressing or a second German pressing. I should really give it another spin today or tomorrow, of Live Dead by the Grateful Dead. This is an incredible live show. Listen to Dark Star. You won't believe what you've heard. The thing with the Grateful Dead is, when you listen to their studio albums, you get something different than from them live. And I did not have the pleasure of seeing the Grateful Dead live. Yet this is one of their legendary live albums. Not one of those legendary live boxes, because shows of the Grateful Dead could go on for 3 or 4 hours. But this is a beautiful slice of the freedom they had, entering the stage and just having fun. And when you listen to this, you kind of understand that Grateful Dead fans, or the Deadheads, there's this golden rule among them. One is you follow them everywhere. The second is, out of 3 shows you watch, one will be one of the most, guarantee, one will be one of the most exciting experiences in your life. On 43, The Grateful Dead Live Dead. 42, I've been listening to this one so many times. Under Great White Northern Lights by the White Stripes. This is a show recorded in, as a matter of fact, I should have checked that before. The album was released in 2009, but it's, I believe, near the end of the White Stripes collaboration. 2007, it's from the 2007 Canadian tour. The energy. Again, this is one of those moments in time. The White Stripes are ruling the world. They are one of the few genuine rock bands in the zeros with hits on the radio. When you listen to Jack, I want to say Jack Black because of his "Hit Me Baby One More Time" hit right now. It's Jack White, of course. Black and white cover. No, if you listen to Jack White's voice shouting on Jolene, I mean, it's just, and then when he just starts to hit those chords, silent, the way these two musicians, drums, guitar, and vocals, are in complete, utter control of an audience and how they shape covers to their hand. For example, I Just Don't Know What to Do With Myself. Make it completely their own. Same thing for Jolene, which, how can you make a Dolly Parton song your own? I mean, it's Dolly Parton. She's one of the biggest. It is just amazing. Seven Nation Army here is incredible. A Ball and Biscuit. I'm Slowly Turning Into You. So many incredible songs. Man, this is great. 42, Under Great White Northern Lights by the White Stripes. 41, Iron Maiden Live After Death. Look at this cover. I mean, is it kitsch or is it brilliant? I don't know. I find it impressive. They are Iron Maiden at this moment in time. Again, same thing with White Stripes. That's the incredible thing about a good live album. You capture them at an incredible moment in time. And here they are ruling the world of metal. I know some metal fans may disagree, but as a live band, right here, listen to what they are doing to, of course, Run to the Hills, Power Slave, Number of the Beast, but Phantom of the Opera. I mean, it is technically such a challenge. Look at these pictures. I mean, this is the kind of show you just want to attend, right? Gorgeous live show. I really want to talk a bit more about it, but I'm seeing that the first 10 albums I already took about 70 minutes for that, so I really got to keep going. On 41. 40! And where is my pad? Yes. On 40, U2 Live Under a Blood Red Sky. Now, I know that right now not everyone is into U2. I think they're an amazing band. And the moment that this live show was recorded, it's actually a compilation of several live shows. One was the famous Red Rock show, which was also filmed, in which Bono climbed to a tower or something like that, a radio tower, during a storm. So it was a very tense moment, and that's the iconic moment of this live show. It was during the years of a very young, rebellious U2, and you can hear it here. I mean, Gloria has energy. I Will Follow is amazing. Sunday Bloody Sunday. Awesome show. On 40, U2 Live Under a Blood Red Sky. This is not one out. I got this one. I got the advice from this from a very big Elvis Presley fan. And I must be frank, this is the ultimate Elvis Presley song. Elvis live at Madison Square Garden. Opening with the Also sprach Zarathustra, the theme from 2001: A Space Odyssey. Then going into That's Alright, Proud Mary, You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, You've Lost That Love and Feeling, Love Me, All Shook Up, Heartbreak Hotel. Then a medley with Teddy Bear, Don't Be Cruel, Love Me Tender. And that's only side one. Side two, Hound Dog, Suspicious Minds, American Trilogy. And a good rendition of American Trilogy. I mean, check out these low voices in there. Oh, I Can't Stop Loving You, Can't Help Falling in Love. This is an incredible show. This has got to be in the list. On 39, Elvis, as recorded at Madison Square Garden. 38, another legendary live album here. What can I say? The Almond Brothers live at Fillmore East, right? Yeah, East, not West, East. Amazing show, amazing band. I'm just gonna continue because I'm running out of time. I don't want to make this video too long. But this isn't. Check out the picture and the quality, the way they are responding to each other. It's awesome. At 38, 37. I'm gonna put John Cale in the list. This is the only one that doubles, really, because John Cale is in the Velvet Underground, but he's not on the Velvet Underground live, so I'm not breaking my rules. In 1992, John Cale played his songs alone on piano and guitar, and if you would ever like proof of the incredible way these melodies are constructed, of the incredible voice and musical skills of John Cale, listen to this. But why would you want proof of technical abilities when you can just lean back and let the most gorgeous stories come over you? John Cale is a master of his craft, and this album has so many incredible songs. A Child's Christmas in Wales, Darling I Need You, Guts, Ship of Fools, Leaving It Up to You, The Ballad of Cable Hogue, The Chinese Envoy, Dying on the Vine. I mean, an incredible writing. Fear is a Man's Best Friend, Heartbreak Hotel, Style It Takes, Paris 1990, Hallelujah. He was the first one to cover Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, and this rendition was the one that inspired Jeff Buckley. Masterpiece. On 36. Van Morrison, It's Too Late to Stop Now. The thing with Van Morrison is the quality of the live show depends on his mood. There's a fair chance that he's not in the mood. I saw him perform with the Rolling Stones, or before the Rolling Stones, but it was raining. He came on the stage playing harmonica to Please Don't Go, and after 3 songs, the rain was too much. He left. We never saw him back. Those were 3 beautiful songs. He was in a good mood, too much rain, bad mood, gone is Van Morrison. And that's the thing with what I heard from Van Morrison fans. You go to a show, you don't know what you get. Well, this was recorded on his good nights. And it's a legendary live show. This captures Van Morrison's voice, energy, and abilities like nothing else. Take a look at the way he does Gloria or Caravan. Bring It On Home. Here Comes the Night. One of the ultimate Van Morrison albums. On 46. 45. Yes. 45, right? Yeah. 45. Wings Over America by Paul McCartney and the Wings. This is also an incredible live concert film. What I really love about this is Paul McCartney was in a great shape at this moment. Very energetic, very powerful. He plays some Beatles songs, but he also plays some of the best Wings songs. And this is such a beautiful, captured night, opening with Venus and Mars and Rock Show at the Concert Cabal. immediately going on to Jet, ooh, then going to let me. I have a sore throat, so I shouldn't be doing this. Let me roll it to you. Maybe I'm amazed. That's so good. Lady Madonna, the long and winding road, live and let die. I've just seen a face I can't forget. Blackbird, Yesterday. There's just Let 'em in, Time to Hide. Silly love songs, Band on the Run. What is there to say? On 45. No. This was 46. Counting mistake. 45 is gonna come right now. I have a box here. Yeah. I was in doubt. I'm sure one Bob Dylan show has to be in there. I was thinking about the real Royal Albert Hall concert, which is really, really good. I was slightly in doubt of the Bob Dylan in the band, but I might keep the band for a different album. And as a matter of fact, compared to this recent release, none of them have the quality, the energy, and the sound. Bob Dylan Live, the Rolling Thunder review. This is a 3 LP set made during the 1975 Rolling Thunder Review Series show. And somehow Bob Dylan found new energy and conviction, and he found a format that he enjoyed. The show itself, it did not gain money. As a matter of fact, it cost Bob Dylan money. And there's a beautiful documentary by Martin Scorsese on Netflix about that tour. That might be good for the story behind it and for the imagination. If you listen to the quality of the performances, you're never gonna get Bob Dylan as good as this. It's not Bob Dylan alone with the guitar, like the Royal Albert Hall show, which is incredible, which might have been which would have been in this list if this one would not be released. So many incredible performances. It Ain't Me, Babe, A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, Isis, Mr. Tambourine Man, Simple Twist of Fate. I mean, there are a lot of track songs here. Blowing in the Wind, I Shall Be Released, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, Love Minus Zero, No Limits, Tangled Up in Blue, It Takes a Lot of Love, It Takes a Train to Cry, Hurricane, very good rendition of Hurricane, a very emotional one of Sarah and Just Like a Woman, Knocking on Heaven's Door. He had some relationship issues at the time, or he was just divorced even. I'm not so sure about his private life. You notice that this man needs his music. Gorgeous. On 45, this one was on 45. On 44, Donny Hathaway Live. Amazing soul album. Beautiful rendition of Jealous Guy. Beautiful version of What's Going On, The Ghetto. We're Still Friends. You've Got a Friend. Don't take my word for it. Buy this one and enjoy it. It is a captured moment of such beauty and sincerity, intimacy. Go out, buy it. It's amazing. 43. Gotta put the records in a way that they're not gonna fall. 43. Going to the punk world, Ramon, It's Alive. Now, this is one of the essential punk albums. Teenage Lobotomy, Blitzkrieg Bop. I mean, the energy. I mean, this was recorded at New Year's Eve. Yeah, that's right. Recorded New Year's Eve. So actually, somewhere during the show. I'm not gonna go into details. It's a New Year's Eve show at the Rainbow Theater. Might this be the essence of late 70s punk? Perhaps is at least late 70s American punk. It's the essence of late 70s American punk. She Needs a Punk Rocker. Servant Bird. The rendition of Servant Bird is just amazing. Awesome live album. On 43. 42. Jerry Lee Lewis live at the Star Club Hamburg. Now, this is an early 60s recording, and if you'd ever wonder why Jerry Lee Lewis has his name amongst the greats in the world of rock and roll, of the classic rock and roll. Put this one on. The man is insane, and this show is insane. Starting off, I Got a Woman. At the end of side 1, you've got What I'd Say, another Ray Charles song. Then side 2, doom, 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 great Balls of Fire, you know. Great Balls of Fire. Hound Dog, Long Tall Sally, whole lot of shooting going on. And Good Golly Miss Molly, core, one of the core albums of rock and roll. And this man was so incredibly good live. He just went nuts. On 42, going to 41. 31. 31. 31. I've been making a counting mistake with the... Do you really matter? Nah, 31. 31. We know where we are. 31. Gonna continue. Slade. Alive. I'm laughing at myself, you know. I could start the video again, but I'm so into it, I'm not gonna start it again. And it's about the albums, not about the numbers, right? 31. Slade, Alive. This is a first British pressing. I've been playing this so often. It is a powerhouse of hard rock, glam rock, essence from it. There's a version of Born to Be Wild here that is just amazing. They left their hits off this album, so this is not the ultimate version of the writing skills of Slade, but it is the ultimate version of their performance. Their version of Born to Be Wild is amazing. But the way they are playing Darling Be Home Soon by John Sebastian. Nothing more to say. Put that one on. After this video, put their version of Darling Be Home Soon on. And you know what I mean. At 31! 31! I'm back on the track. Oh, how many of you have been watching now and thinking, you're doing the counting wrong. What's going on? 31. I'm gonna go to 30. Yeah. You know, I don't have a list, or I put all of them in the right order. So at 30, AC/DC. If you want blood, you've got it. So this is a powerhouse of hard rock, heavy rock. Metal? Would you say metal? I'm not sure. This to me is hard rock. Opening with Riff Raff, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, Bad Boy Boogie, The Jack, and then side 2, a whole lot of Rosie, Rock and Roll Damnation, High Voltage, Let There Be Rock. Man, this is AC/DC at one of their best moments. Pure 70s anger, fury, rock and roll hard. It is so good. At number 30, If You Want Blood. Number 29, No Anger at All. A very controlled artist at moments, and then within the control he creates a space in which he just lets go, and you'll be able to experience things you'll never experience again in your life. Of course, I'm talking about Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention and their live album Roxy and Elsewhere. You know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. I made a video about a top 5 of Frank Zappa albums. If you're into Zappa, check that video out. This one, Penguin Bondage. So much going on here. Such an incredible live show. Mind-blowing what this man and this band is doing here. How tight they are. How tight, and the moments, it remains tight, but it is also completely constructed in the moment. Zappa is a miracle maker, and Roxy and Elsewhere is proof of that. On number 29, Zappa and the Mothers, Roxy and Elsewhere. 28, Bob Marley and the Wailers live. And I believe this was also the show that was recorded in London, in 1975. Now, this is a legendary live album. Actually, almost all of these are. If you ever want to experience what Bob Marley had up his sleeve live, put this one on. Side 2 opens with No Woman, No Cry, and this became the version we all know and love today. It's different. It's very different. Then you get I Shot the Sheriff. Get up, stand up. Marley was a brilliant writer. A brilliant writer. When you take a look or listen to his to the first pressings of his albums, you can hear he was also an audiophile. He knew exactly what was going on. He was a preacher. He loved the lyrics. And then when he gets live, when he gets to his preaching, you're in for an incredible treat. Bob Marley and the Wailers live at 28. Right? '27. MC5. Kick Out the Jams. Now, MC5. One of the real big punk bands before it was punk. They toured together with the Stooges in the late 60s. Imagine buying tickets for an MC5 show and seeing on one evening the Stooges in MC5. I think you'll never be more exhausted at the end of a concert than that double bill. And this show is such a raw kick of energy and teenage fun. It's fun. These guys are having fun. One hell of an album, a legendary recording. On 27. And here we're going to 26, a recent one. This is the first recent one, right? I'm gonna take a sip of my cola because it's gonna be a long video. This is an album rather recent then, recorded at spring of 2013, performed in California. This was Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds during the tour for, what was it? It's a beautiful album. Sorry. I really want to check the name of the, because it was such an incredible, Push the Sky Away tour. When he released Push the Sky Away, I mean, that was the first time I heard of Nick Cave, and everybody was talking about this. The student house I lived in, and this was also the same year this show got released. Mind-blowing artist. This might be the height of his career, or perhaps he's still in the height of his career. I don't know. It's almost as if his career is constantly building towards the height. Opening with the Higgs Boson Blues, a masterpiece. Stranger Than Kindness, incredible song. A2, The Mercy Seat. Maddening good song. And No More Shall We Part. It Will No Longer Be Necessary. End of side A2, Mermaids. Incredible song as well. He just continues, People Ain't No Good. Into My Arms. Push the Sky Away, Jack the Ripper. And they are so good at this moment. There is such a conviction, sincerity, a calmness, but not relaxed. There's a calmness, but he's cautious. And that makes this a very interesting Nick Cave. On 26, I still want to get back to the 40. I'm not sure what this is. 20, 25, 24, 23, 21. Yeah. A box. I've got a box here. On 25, we're halfway there. Living on a Prayer. How the West Was Won by Led Zeppelin. This is a collection of 4 LPs from 2 shows. The LA Forum on the 25th of June 1972 and Long Beach Arena 2 days later. Now, there are very little official live releases from Led Zeppelin. There is the 1976 one. I have the Blu-ray here. It's lying here. The song remains the same. Love that Blu-ray. Love that concert as well. This is more complete. And I might even say, yes, they're better. It's an earlier moment in their career. They are winning over the United States. This is the moment captured during the incredible tour years of Led Zeppelin, where everybody's talking about something is going on. This box captures one of the biggest rock and roll bands ever during a highlight, and it's 4 LPs. Sometimes a solo might be a bit too long. That might be the case. But this document is worthwhile. And it will never really bore you. No. I mean, it's Led Zeppelin. It's so good. On 25, How the West Was Won. And then we're going to 24. Motorhead, No Sleep Till Hammersmith. All you need to know about this live album is, as a matter of fact, they did not tour the Hammersmith during the tour. They just liked the name No Sleep Till Hammersmith, which also gets to the core of what this band was all about. All I've got to say is, purchase a copy. Get yourself a glass of whiskey. Sit in front of your speakers. And the moment Ace of Spades hits your ears, you're gonna be in love for the entire durance of this record. I used to put, during Corona, when we had to do had a train inside, we could not go to the gym. I made this home my gym. I put this one on, and it was good for my exercise. Love this one. On 24, 23, something more subtle. Finally. No, not finally. I love Energy. This is a rather recent live show again by then released by Anthony and the Johnsons. Right now it's Anoni and the Johnsons. A magical band, a magical artist with the amount of sincerity and lyrics like you will rarely see. This one captures them with an orchestra. I believe this recording is from Denmark even. The sheer control. The moments of silence. For example, there's a beautiful silence in I Fell in Love with a Dead Boy. If you ask me, the music of Anhoni captured live, what it's all about, being there and really having something to say, and having the most magical, unique voice in the world, it comes down to Cut the World, a live album with an orchestra. Just as Metallica, but perhaps this one even blends even better. The combination with an orchestra can be magic, and Anoni showed that. Cut the World. At 43. 42. Aretha Franklin live at the Fillmore. West. Now, this is magical. I was lucky enough to find the first US pressing of this, which in the Netherlands you rarely find. This record is, as a matter of fact, pretty rare in the Netherlands here. She opens with Respect. Sorry about that. You got Bridge Over Troubled Water. You got Eleanor Rigby. Dr. Feelgood. Spirit in the Dark. Reach Out and Touch. I mean, listen to this. You'll hear magic. You'll hear one of the most powerful voices in the world of music ever. At one of the most powerful moments. This is a pure and delight treat. At 32, and we're going to 31. I did make a mistake with the 30s and the 40s. Yeah, this is 31. Ha! Don't call me out on the numbers. No, 21. 21. I'm just too excited when I'm talking about these albums. I just forget the numbers. Doesn't matter. This is 21. I'm so sorry. Don't hate me for this. 21. James Brown live at the Apollo. What's there to say? A magical show. You can hear that he is in complete control here. one of the legendary albums ever. I have a second US stereo pressing which contains the energy, the sheer vibe of this evening. It is pure magic. James Brown, live at the Apollo on 21. Now we're going to 20. Oh yeah. Fela Kuti, Fela Ransome Kuti, and the Africa 70 with Ginger Baker live. Now, this might be the best introduction to Fela Kuti you'll ever have. This record shows a rhythm, a diversity, and the essence of somebody who, well, let's be frank, he created his own genre with a control that is unmeasurable. Paul McCartney, while he was recording with the Wings Band on the Run, he stated that he went to see a live show by Fela Kuti and the Africa 70, and he cried. It was so unique, it was so bizarre. That is captured on this album. Ginger Baker is on there as well. Ginger Baker is one of the best drummers in the world. He's not on all the songs. Yet, the rhythm, the drums, I can imagine. Am I insulting anyone when I'm saying that this might have even been a challenge for Ginger Baker to get on board with? It's so tight. It's amazing. Find this, put it on. It's an incredible treat. On 20. On 19, an odd one out. This is one of the live shows I've been listening to most often. Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel. The thing is with Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel, they seem to be forgotten. Here in the Netherlands, they had a hit with the song Sebastian. I believe it's more known worldwide. Some people may know him as a one-hit wonder with Make Me Smile. But back in the day, in the mid-70s, during the glam rock era, when you look at articles by journalists, he was at the core center of the glam rock. And he made albums that had such a sonic quality. He also worked with orchestras on his first album. And he's one of the most incredible songwriters. He was at the core, but somehow there was a certain arrogance to him. And when you read the reviews of this, his arrogance was the thing that most people noticed. And I think that is what worked against him, because when you put this show on, you hear one of the most convincing voices. He has a control, an incredible range. But he makes every note personal. He makes every note count. He gets an involvement of the audience. For example, near the end, you have Tumbling Down, which is this beautiful goodbye song. And he gets the audience to sing, "Oh dear, look what they've done to the blues, blues, blues." And the way he conducts them, the way he gets them involved, and when he uses the line of the audience and starts to improvise above that, there is a dynamic. He is in control of the audience. Before that, he has a song Seeking a Love, which is so close, almost no instruments, so fragile. And that is constantly what he's switching between. Fragility, closeness, then a bombastic band. A song like The Psycho Mode is incredible. Sweet Dreams, Mr. Soft, Sebastian. And the slow way it builds. Best Years of Our Life. Mad, Mad Moonlight. Or That Is a Mean, Mean Color. Oh. Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel. One of the best bands, in my opinion, from the 70s. Let's please unforget them, because this is masterful, skillful, and timeless. These are timeless songs. You can put them on and they work. On number 19, Face to Face by Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel. On number 18, I'm gonna switch this around. gonna switch this around. You already saw what it was, right? On number 18, Get Your Yayas Out by the Rolling Stones. Yeah, this is the highlight of the Rolling Stones. Produced by the Rolling Stones and Glyn Johns, so sound-wise you're getting something incredible. Opening with Jumping Jack Flash. I believe this is from their 1969 tour. It's released in 1970, this album. Opening with Jumping Jack Flash. Then Carol, a Chuck Berry cover. Stray Cat Blues, Love in Vain. So good. Midnight Rambler. Sympathy for the Devil live. Oh, I'm gonna put this one on as well. I'm gonna put this on the side. I'm gonna put a lot of records on. Live With Me, Little Queenie, Honky Tonk Woman's ending with Street Fighting Man, and that of a late 60s Rolling Stones band. Greatly recorded. An amazing live show. An amazing live show. What is there? What's else to say? On number 17. No, 18. Number 18. Number 17, One More for the Road, From the Road, by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Lynyrd Skynyrd as a live band have a legendary status, and this is the album that fully contains that. This is the Freebird Show. Need I to say it one more time? This is the Freebird Show. One of the most insane guitar solos you will ever hear. And that's not only it, you know. Even if it would have only been for that recording of Freebird, it should have been in the list. But this album has more, and that's why it's so high. Working for MCA is incredible. Tuesday's Gone, Saturday Night Special, and A T for Texas, of course. Crossroads, Sweet Home Alabama. They are on fire. They are the Led Zeppelin of the South. And what they're doing on this live album just beats anything. It is such an incredible captured moment. Go out, buy it. That's my advice for all of these. But, yeah. 16. The band The Last Waltz. Now, no way I could have left this out. One of the legendary live albums, one of the legendary live films. The band's goodbye show from, I believe, was it 1976 or 1977? Or I'm not so sure what the exact date was. But they organized a live show, and they had guest appearances from Paul Butterfield, Eric Clapton, Neil Diamond. By the way, Eric Clapton dropping his guitar, and Robbie Robertson nailing the rest of the solo better than Eric Clapton. I got you there. Got you there. It's so good. Neil Diamond. Dry Your Eyes. I mean, Neil Diamond is amazing here. Dry Your Eyes. Bob Dylan ending it all off. Wow, Dylan is being amazing here. Emmylou Harris. Ronnie Hawkins, Dr. John, Such a Night. It's a great issue. Joni Mitchell, Van Morrison, the Staples, Ringo Starr, Muddy Waters, Ron Wood, and Neil Young doing Helpless. Neil Young doing Helpless. Van Morrison doing Caravan. I mean, these are spectacular performances. One of the best shows ever. And number 15. Yeah, a personal favorite of mine. I love this one to death. Rainbow on Stage. And this one was recorded live in Munich, if I am correct. Now, Rainbow is one of the best live bands ever. Period. Ronnie James Dio's voice is like an opera singer, also with a classical trained opera singer, going full-blown hard rock. It is one of the most impressive voices you will ever hear. His control is beyond what I could imagine before I listened to this. Then there is Ritchie Blackmore at the highlight of his career, also taking risks when Deep Purple is doing well, but he gets uninterested with the direction they want to go. He starts another band like Rainbow. and he leaves all of his big hits behind to make something new, something exciting, and that's what he did with Rainbow. This is an amazing combination of musicians performing sometimes very long songs. Catch the Rainbow is 50 minutes long. It doesn't bore for 1 second. The technical skill, the sheer control, the beautiful melodies. This is at the core of hard rock and the best Rainbow record, because they could not beat their quality, their skill, and their sound live. This is a masterpiece. On 15. On 14. Only awe. Sinatra at the Sands. And just a short introduction to this. Sinatra at the Sands. Beautiful location, beautiful place. And he, with Count Basie in the orchestra, and it's arranged and conducted by Quincy Jones. Now, sum that up. Yeah. What do you expect? ×2, then you get Sinatra at the Sands. Sinatra is in complete control. He amuses his guests. He has skits in between his stuff. So this one is just as if you're going to a Sinatra show and he's this charming, witty host. But then he, once every while, he sings his gorgeous songs like Come Fly With Me, I've Got You Under My Skin. And he's on top of it. He's on top of his game here. You know, fly me to the moon. You make me feel so young. All of me. September of my years. It was a very good year. Making whoopee. It's... Find this. Put it on. It's worthwhile. We're going to 13. Another jazz master at his highlight. Ellington at Newport. I was so lucky to find a first US mono pressing of this. I'm sure it's more common in the United States, in the Netherlands, or in Europe. You rarely find one. This performance of Ellington in 1956 at Newport is not only an incredible sounding recording, it is also a master at his work. If you want to understand what an Ellington live show and the impact it had on an audience and the danceableness it had, I mean, it's almost as if you're listening to youngsters listening to rock and roll. That energy, that vibe, like what's happening here is complete, it's crazy, it's new, it's energetic. Jazz is daring and fun and danceable, and it sounds so full and warm and magical, as if something is happening in music that you cannot imagine. That was my first response listening to it. It felt like a new romance. Ellington at Newport at number 13. Number 12. The first country or folk, country folk album in this list. Townes Van Zandt live at the Old Quarter, Houston, Texas. You may not have heard of this album, and if so, then you're in for an incredible surprise. Townes Van Zandt, to me, is one of the best and brilliant songwriters ever. As a matter of fact, I saw a recent quote by Bob Dylan in which he said that he was not he could not compare himself to the likes of Randy Newman and Townes Van Zandt, and that he could write a song with a kind of narrative like they did, and so packaged and so complete. Perhaps he was being humble, but he did notice that Townes Van Zandt is one of the best songwriters ever. And I think he's one of the best performers as well. Here he is sitting in a very hot bar in Houston, playing guitar and singing before his voice got distracted by alcohol and drugs. With songs, songwriting, stories, listening to this is as if you're walking into a bar, and then there is the world's best troubadour telling you stories from the road. Stories like, which are hits like If I Needed You or Pancho and Lefty. But also songs like Waiting Around to Die, Cocaine Blues, Loretta, for the sake of the song. This is so good. This is a recording of, again, I'm gonna say it again, a moment. A special moment in time in which location, artist, timing, the heat, the audience is a moment in itself. Spectacular. Townsend's End live at the Old Quarter, Houston, Texas. We're going to 11. Jimmy plays Monterey. The famous burning guitar moment. And the audio of the show is just as spectacular as the visuals. It is filmed, by the way. There's a beautiful Blu-ray box set by Criterion of the Monterey Pop Show from 67. 67. Jimi Hendrix nailed it. He introduced himself to the world here. And if you take a look at this setlist, and if you know how good this sounds, it's an incredible sounding show. It's so energetic, and it's pointed. It's a pointy show. He's not losing himself in way too long guitar solos, which are also enjoyable, but this is pointy, it's sharp, it's great. Killing Floor, Foxy Lady, Like a Rolling Stone, Rock Me Baby, Hey Joe, Can You See Me, and the Wind Cries Mary, Purple Haze, and Wild Thing. Nothing can beat this, apart from the 10 titles that are right now coming. I'm gonna make a new stack. So, we have entered the top 10. So, on number 10, another oddball out. But this is another recent show. And if this would have been released in the 70s, the way they planned to, this would not be an introduction for people. Try out, find this show, because this is a band you know, but they are more skillful than you'll ever hear. This is the Queen Live at the Rainbow show, and this box contains 4 LPs with 2 shows, both from 1974 at the Rainbow, but one was done during their Queen 2 tour, and one was done during the Sheer Heart Attack tour. Now, I can understand anyone saying Live at Wembley should be in there, because it's a legendary show, and I was in doubt. Of course, I was in doubt, because we all have the visuals there, and both of these shows are in my Queen top 5 live videos, and they're in constant battle with each other. But taking a look at the incredible skillful performances this list has, like the Rainbow performance, like the Lynyrd Skynyrd performance, like the Led Zeppelin performance, then you should hear one of the most skillful live performances ever recorded. And it's by a band you know, but you did not know they could sing harmonies this perfect. That they could play so energetic, that they are playing hard rock, symphonical rock, and beautiful pop hits in a way you cannot imagine. This is pure talent, and the kind of talent you would not imagine Queen would have. At number 10, Queen Live at the Rainbow. And I'm going to put the box, yep. On number 9, Johnny Cash at San Quentin. The highlight of his career, if you ask me. And it's one hell of a career. When Johnny Cash decides to play in front of an audience of, criminals is not the right words, imprisoned men, prisoners, playing in front of prisoners in a prison, you would imagine it being great. As a matter of fact, this album should be doubled with Folsom Prison Blues. Having those two together, and I'm putting them together. I don't have, No, as a matter of fact, I have it lying here. I should give both of them the credit they belong. They need. I just bought a British one as well. I'm putting these one together. Don't you? Would you be upset about it? I'm just gonna do it. These two have energy. His 2 prison albums. His lyrics come to life in a different sense. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. There is energy, there's conviction. There's a new essence to Johnny Cash. Number 9. Number 8. The best album by B.B. King. Live at the Regal. Magic in these grooves. Magic in these grooves. I really want to get a first US mono pressing. But this one, a universal stereo reissue, already sounds mesmerizing. B.B. King opening with Every Day I Have the Blues. Then Sweet Little Angel. It's My Own Fault. How blue can you get? The timing. The audience, you can hear he's in control of it. This is one of the most exciting live acts around, and the audience knows it, and B.B. King knows it, and he enjoys the control. And at moments he's just letting go, and you're listening to somebody who, both with voice and guitar, can speak in an incredible manner. A legendary show. I love it. At number 9. No. Number 8. It was number 8. Number 7. The Talking Heads with Stop Making Sense. This was not recorded during an ordinary live show. As a matter of fact, the Talking Heads decided they wanted to make the ultimate concert film, and they hired Jonathan Demme, who you can know from films like Philadelphia and Silence of the Lambs. But this was before that. And they thought up a concept of building a stage and building a show from just a single solo performance from David Byrne with a guitar, doing a Psycho Killer and building it up towards an epic band with everything you can imagine. A piece of art in itself. And it sounds incredible. The songs are fantastic. A couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine was here and he never saw the Blu-ray. And you should really check out the film itself and the Blu-ray. And I thought, he wanted to hear one song. Put it on. Every next song we thought, we have to skip and go back to a record. But it was so good. We just kept watching and watching and watching until 40, 50 minutes in. It is just a magical, beautiful live show. On number 7. Number 6. Another box. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band had an incredible live reputation, but he was very afraid to put something out. Then, in the 80s, second half of the 80s, he decided, I'm going to collect the best moments of my live shows. And it's a tough challenge, because everybody's just talking about a Bruce Springsteen show and how incredible it is. But then you have to pick out the best moments. And this box is just smashing. It is really smashing. Opening with Thunder Road, recorded at the Roxy in 75. Listen to the harmonica. Beautiful control and magic starts off. Adam Raised the Cane, Spirit in the Night, 4th of July. Fire. Growing Up, It's Hard to Be a Saint in the City, Backstreets, Rosalita Come Out at Night, Hungry Heart, Cadillac Ranch, Badlands, Because the Night, Darkness on the Edge of Town. It just goes on. Racing in the Street, This Land Is Your Land, Nebraska, Johnny 99, Reason to Believe, Born in the USA, The River, War, Working on the Highway. You go all the way on into I'm on Fire, My Hometown, Born to Run, 10th Avenue, Freeze Out, Jersey Girl. This covers the sheer energy, brilliance of Bruce Springsteen. It's 5 records, and if you think that's long, it's not. It's not, because it's just hit after hit after explosive performance after explosive performance. It is incredible what they did in those 10 years. Yeah, in those 10 years, this quality, these kind of performances, mesmerizing. On number 6, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band live, 1975, 1985. I'm gonna take a sip of a drink, Just looking at these albums makes me excited. On number 5, Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Live Rust. If you've listened to this and you know the way the guitar sounds, it's just pure electrifying. There is such a beautiful edge to Neil Young, as if he's also losing something. During this moment with Crazy Horse, he also lost a certain restraint. It is as if he is fully embracing the rawness and roughness of his guitar and the slickness of his high notes and the power of his voice, and he is playing his heart and guts out. Sugar Mountain, Comes a Time, After the Gold Rush, My, Hey, Hey, has never sounded that true and pure as on this record. The Needle and the Damage Done, Cortez the Killer, Powderfinger, Cinnamon Girl, Like a Hurricane, Hey Hey My, Into the Black, and then ending up with Tonight's the Night. It's 2 records fly by, magical performance. The band, Neil Young, they are incredible. I wish I could have seen this on number 5, Live Rust. On number 4, I mean, just looking at the cover, I'm falling in love. It took me some time to find this one. It's a 1985 and the first release of Sam Cooke live at the Harlem Square. Now the thing is, they did not release this during his lifetime. The record company was very focused on getting Sam Cooke introduced to a wide audience. And on his studio records, he sounds rather controlled. You have a beautiful, controlled, warm voice. One of the best voices ever. Yeah, I want to say best soul voices ever. No, just one of the best voices ever on the studio albums. And then when he stepped on the stage of a club with a black audience, and he did not feel the restraints that the white audience demanded, and the keep it, how do you say it? Keep it white, just keep it 50s, 60s white, controlled. And no, he did not do that. He let everything go, and he was at that moment a live performer of the utmost intriguing quality. Opening with Feel It, Chain Gang, then It's Alright, For Sentimental Reasons, Twisting the Night Away, Somebody Have Mercy, Bring It On Home to Me. This version of Bring It On Home to Me is one of the most beautiful recordings of a human voice ever. The way he's shouting it out, the crazy excitement in the audience, the heat, everything comes together, and this man is nailing one of the most gorgeous live shows you've ever wished you could have seen. That they did not release this in the 60s is just idiotic. It's one of the most embarrassing moments for a record company ever. This show is a pure delight. I'm so happy to have it. I'm so happy to listen to it, and I keep listening to it over and over again. On number 4, on number 3, Deep Purple, Made in Japan. None of their studio albums contains what this one does. If you've ever found a first, this is coincidentally, this is the first UK copy, but the first Dutch copy is also pretty good. It has the same stampers. And they open with Highway Star. Deep Purple opening with Highway Star. Most insane version ever. Then you get to Child in Time with the and 1 octave higher, and he nails it. Then going to Smoke on the Water, The Mule, Strange Kind of Woman, Lazy and Space Truckin'. These solos, I memorize them. I know them. Why, it is incredible. There is so much going on. This band is so tight. It's a magical moment in history, and this record is just Number 3. Number 2. Nirvana MTV Unplugged. Why? Because it's the album nobody thought they would need. Nirvana Unplugged. And they're not gonna play their hits. No. They're gonna play songs by bands nobody ever heard of, like the Meat Puppets. That's what they're gonna play. You don't need it, might be your first reaction. And what did they do? They nailed it. Opening with About a Girl. Then Comme Soir, which is indeed a hit. Jesus doesn't want me for a sunbeam. The Man Who Sold the World. You know what? Song after song after song after song is good. And as a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, I got a call out of nowhere to perform with an acoustic duo I performed with 10 years ago. We did not practice at all. And we sat down, and there was a computer there. We could just pop up the computer and check out songs. Played half of this album live in front of people, and people enjoyed it. You know, just strumming away. It's gorgeous. And then it ends with songs like Lake of Fire, All Apologies. What a gorgeous goodbye. All Apologies, but it's not even the last song. Then he ends up with a Lead Belly song, doing Where Did You Sleep Last Night, the way it has never been played before, and a mesmerizing scream. In awe, in complete awe, of Nirvana, MTV Unplugged, in New York, and number 1. Best live album ever. The Who, live at Leeds. Now, The Who is different in that regard from Deep Purple, because Made in Japan is the best Deep Purple album ever, and Live at Leeds is the best The Who album ever. So why put this one on number 1? Well, The Who is an incredible studio band. They have made studio albums which sound so full, so daring. It starts with My Generation, but also A Quick One is a good studio album. The Who Sellout is a great studio album. The Who Tommy changed the world. The Who Tommy changed the world. It's a mesmerizing album. Quadrophenia is a stroke of genius. Also sound-wise. But putting on Live at Leeds, listening to what that band were trained to and how they sounded at that moment in time, they may be the best live band ever. For the combination of skill, energy, and spontaneity. This coming from 4 people, this excitement, this thrill, these songs, this freedom, and this knock on your head that there's a new sound in town and it's taking over. You can't put this on with nostalgia, because it is a recording of impact that lasts forever. It's energy forever. I love it. Those are my 50 favorite live albums. I know albums are missing, because there are so many great live albums. But please, nevertheless, leave a comment below and tell me, what do you think? What should be in the list? And see you in my next video. Bye.